G'day folks, it's time for a little bit of Uber Grace, and I seem to be inadvertently doing a little crash course on church history here. Didn't mean to, but so far we've got the Roman government turning this organism of small loving communities into a stiff, duty-bound, state-run religion, and the people running this and setting all the committees up to decide what we believe and what's in the Bible and all this stuff and things are all actually the Roman emperors are doing this. Now, they may have had an interest in it. They may have genuinely wanted to do something useful using their position of influence. But what they ended up doing was probably counterproductive. And they were also doing it from a point of view of, I'm an emperor and I conquer things and I execute people and I'm rather a bloody person because that's my job, that's what the job demands of me. And this is why hundreds of years later there were wars fought because, well, if Constantine could do that because he claims to have seen a cross in the sky, looked to it and then had a victory or something like that, then, it's like, well, God is behind war. If you look in the Old Testament, the confused view of God that comes out over the pages of the Old Testament, you sometimes think maybe that's right. But of course it wasn't what Jesus portrayed of God, and Jesus is the express image of God. So what happened was next, is people like Augustine of Hippo got favour with the Romans, wrote some good stuff, but he also needed to be a bit more coercive, be a little bit more controlling to gain favour with the people in the state-run church. So doctrines like, for example, the doctrine of eternal conscious torment, which was around, it was a minority view up to this point, suddenly he pushes that forwards. And he writes stuff like, well, there are people around that believe that we're all going off, and they're definitely Christians. He wasn't against them, but he was pushing his view, which in time became the majority view. Also in that century, a chap called Jerome translated all the scriptures and gathered all together all the Greek writings of the New Testament and translated them into a language that was foreign to them, translated them into Latin, and he put together what is known as the Vulgate Bible. And that's a very questionable translation because, again, it was state-sponsored and it had to do a certain amount of stuff that would be kind of coercing people and keeping people good citizens. You know what I mean? It was not pure. It was used for years. The gospel is still in there. And actually, 1,000 years later, priests like John Calvin and he's a lawyer actually, and the other guy, they actually studying in that Bible saw the gospel for the first time and thought, hang on a minute, we need to get this into German, we need to get this into English, we need to get this into Austrian, or not Austrian, but whatever, because this Latin is no good and everyone needs to be able to read the Bible and see the real message. So actually for a long time, this official Roman government-run church, which then espoused the papacy, which then was very austere and always in the pockets of kings across Europe, made it very dark and took it a long, long way away from what Jesus came to bring us. I hope that was a little bit of history that was helpful, and I'll see you soon. Please share, like and comment. Have an uberlicious day. Bye now.